When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton. And guys, as you know, here on the Mission, our goal is always to honor the heroes of the game, preserve their history, promote their values, and celebrate their excellence. And today, I'm so honored to be joined by two amazing people who really responded to the call of action, who jumped right in with the recent mass shooting in Buffalo at the Tops grocery store. Through the tireless efforts of the Thurman Thomas Family Foundation, Thurman Thomas and Patti Thomas have raised over 6 figures to help the shooting victims and their families. Joining us on the mission right now is Thurman Thomas and Patti Thomas. Guys, welcome to the Mission Podcast. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Obviously, it's been a really overwhelming experience here in the Buffalo area. And, we're just happy. My wife and I are just happy to, obviously be part of the Hall of Fame, but also be part of such a great community that we live in here in Buffalo, New York. So thanks for having us on.
Patti and Thurman, I don't really know where to begin, because after you're reading and you're learning about these 10 amazing lives, these innocent lives, and this heinous crime that was taking place, and you're wrapping your brain around it as to why. But if you guys could just jump right in and talk about your call to action and when this situation occurred, the moments and times after of how you guys really got active and to put your arms around your community.
I guess I can start with that one. The pain was so overwhelming that I think it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction to want to get in and, just get involved, some to help ease the pain, and when you're doing work and trying to make a difference, it helps ease that pain or keep your mind occupied when we were really, really struggling with just how devastating the tragedy was to not only those families and the victims and that community, but it should be devastating to everyone everywhere. And we just wanted to do whatever we could to help. We knew we had to assemble really quickly to make the most impact. And if Thurman wants to add, but that's kind of, we knew we had to move fast.
Yeah, I think when you look at, what we've done over the past 5 to 6 years for the Thurman Thomas Family Foundation, and these are reasons why you have foundations like this, when you can act immediately to a crisis like this. And like I said, we wanted to jump on this really, really fast, and because we know if we were going to do this, we had to get out there and start right away, and which we did. We did the following day. We initiated a donation of $10,000, and I think up to this point now, it might be close to 275, maybe 280,000, and we're not done. We're going to continue to raise money for these families and for the community, because the one thing that I have learned about all the victims that were over there at the Top supermarket was that most of them, they were over there helping somebody else. It wasn't them. And I think that goes a long way of showing you and telling you what type of community that was over on the east side of Buffalo. People that really can't get out and do things for themselves. They had other people that were willing to jump in and help them right away and help them, for a long period of time. And like Patti said, it's devastating. It's always devastating when you hear stuff like this, but it also is devastating when it's close to home. And that, I think, really hit the heart for myself and my family.
Patti, when you look at the overwhelming support our nation is giving this, as well as the community, what does it say to you, ma'am?
I mean, I think it says that it's really describing how we have got to start coming together and putting our political differences and stop putting the wrong emphasis on things that are going on in America, and really just focus on uplifting each other and being there for each other, and not making things about something else. You know, there's a time and a place for all of that. And when it comes to people's lives and their opportunity, and, you know, they use the phrase leveling the playing field, but it's much more than that. We have to start just really thinking about each other and loving each other, and not spinning it in another way, whether it's the media, whether it's private citizens, corporations, government, doesn't matter. We have to stop doing it. Because this is the end result. When we are not there for each other and we don't love each other fully, this is what happens.
You know, Thurman, you know better as well as Patti, but if you could talk about the makeup for people that don't know, because you're looking at all of the news coverages, you're seeing all of the major professional sports teams, sports professional teams that are coming out and that are helping. But if you could talk about the community for people that don't know that area, if you could describe the makeup of that Buffalo community?
Well, obviously, being on the East Side, you know, I'll take it back a little bit. You know, it took them 20 years for them to finally build that supermarket, Tops, in the East Side of Buffalo. So that right there should tell you a lot. What are we going to do as a community, as really a nation? Really, what are we going to do to stop this? Mm-hmm. What can we do? I know all the money's been pouring in, but you know what? I don't want to come back a year later and we're still at this point. Something has to change. Something has to be different. And it's not just with Buffalo. It's about all these communities in Detroit, Mississippi, California. They're all over the place. It's just so happened that we were in a spot where this happened, where a young man came to Buffalo, saw things, and wanted to hurt people. And he did. This is happening across the country. And like Patti said, we got to forget the Democrats. We got to forget the Republicans. We got to forget the independents. We have to be as one. And you know what? It's going to take a lot of work for that to happen. It's going to take a lot of work for that to happen. And I tell you what, the people here in the city of Buffalo, we're on a mission right now. We're on a mission with our sports teams, with our owners, with our community, with everybody, because as heartbreaking as it was infuriating. It was really, really got a lot of people angry, and hopefully this can wake a lot of people up.
Thurman, if you don't mind sharing, but what was it like when you called your former teammates, your Pro Football Hall of Famer brothers as well, you know, when you were on the phone with Bruce Smith? Because I saw Bruce recently speaking at a church and he was on boots on the ground. But what were those phone calls like? Oh,
man. I mean, there were like phone calls after another, once after another. Mm-hmm. You know, after I did the 10,000, Jim Kelly stepped up, and his Kelly for Kids Foundation stepped up. Bruce came here. You know, obviously me and Jim live here, and Leonard Smith, a former teammate of mine, has been here for a couple of days. All these guys just rallied around each other. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, This is how we were when we played football together for 12, 13 years. When something happened to a family member or a teammate, you always stepped up. You always stepped up, and that's what these guys did, man. The conversation was, you know, with Cornelius and Bruce and Darryl, is like, man, you know how many times we visited that area down there? How many times we've been down there? We know those people down there. And man, it was such a great feeling for those two guys to jump right in and get the ball rolling with what's happening here in Buffalo. I was overwhelmed and just love those guys so much that they came here to Buffalo and continued to do what we've been doing.
You know, Patty, I had to give you a huge shout out because it was so honorable of you. You know, when people donate, they're leery because they may not know where the money potentially could go to or where it's going to end. But, you know, when I watched your news clip, the first thing that you said, Patty, was, listen, we are going to be honest. We're going to be stewards. We're going to make sure that these funds get in the right place. If you could just talk about that, because that was just so moving and just so calming, because a lot of people don't know, but you stood there and you delivered, and, you know, that was honorable, Patty.
Thanks. I think it's really important, because whether somebody's giving us $10,000, $25,000 or they're giving us $100, to those people, it's probably a lot of money, and they want to know that it's gonna go straight to help those families, to help that community. They know, you know, Thurman and I've been doing things like this for a while in our city, and they know they can count on us. And it was one of the reasons that the very next day, I wanted to make sure that we started immediately, because we knew there were so many people ready to give, and they didn't know where they don't know who to trust. And I just wanted people to know that every single dime, no administration fees, no nothing, every single dime raised through our foundation is going directly to impact those families in that community. We've been talking with a couple organizations that are along the same lines as us. There's no admin fees. They distribute the funds right to where it's needed. And we're going to make an announcement probably. I think we're going to end our campaign on June 1st, and then we'll make an announcement maybe even before then, the organization that we're going to work with. I think we may do one portion that is going to be able to help with the immediate needs of the family. And then the rest of the funds are going to go to something that will be distributed in a few months and help the long-term needs. So thank you for saying that. But honestly, like we did the 10,000 from our own foundation. And, you know, all we have is a platform. It's everybody that's in this community and across the country have been donating. This is everybody that's done this together. And it's a great united effort.
And I know last week you guys were extremely busy with a fundraiser. How did that go? How was the turnout?
So we've raised, I think Thurman's he's a little optimistic, but we're close. I think we're at about 250 right now. And there's, you know, he's probably more accurate as to promises and commitments that we've had that haven't quite come in, but I don't like to count that unless we actually have seen a check come in, because some people have sent checks, but most people have donated right to the online link. And but right now we're at about 250.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, a slogan that we've been seeing, Thurman and Patti, is choose love. And I have to get your take on that slogan, choose love. And I'll start with you, Thurman.
I mean, it's when you say it and when you see it, it's pretty much what we all need to do.
Right.
Pretty much what we all need to do. And you know what? It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to help other people. It's not that hard to do that. And I think this is just the beginning of what we're striving for and what we're looking forward to. I think more and more as the days and the weeks and the months go on, you will not see anybody in here Buffalo resting. We're going to continue to choose love. We're going to continue to get the word out. I know the Bills, they made those shirts, and I think they're selling it. And I know all the proceeds are going to the families and the community. So it's pretty much what we're doing with our foundation. And So, I mean, it's a perfect saying for Buffalo to choose love. And I love it. And that's what we're going to continue to do, man. It's really, I'm really proud of the Bills and their organization really coming out really quickly with that. And it was great for the city. It's been great for everybody.
I guess I'll take a different spin on it because, I mean, Thurman hit the nail on the head. It's what we all have to do, but we all aren't doing it. We need to be realistic about that. Not everybody is choosing love, okay? And right. It's not an easy feat to have them do that. I think a couple of years ago, people, and they still use the word, let's be tolerant of each other. I think that's a problem. It's a problem being tolerant of each other, because when you're tolerant, you're not loving and truly supporting your neighbors, okay, and your community and your city and country. So when it says choose love, it means really choose love. Don't just tolerate people, because it just the end result isn't great. So I guess to me, choose love just really means mean it.
That's right.
And stop, just stop with the nonsense and everything that doesn't matter, and shoot for the good in people and lift people up.
Well, before I let you guys go, first and foremost, thank you so much for giving us your time. But if people want to get involved, if you guys can, let us know how people can get involved. And not only that, at this moment, I want to take a step back. If there's some people that you would like to thank and things that you would like to call out, please do so. This is your platform.
So I will say, like Thurman mentioned, Kelly for Kids. I will mention just a few of our larger donors. Every donor we have, we appreciate, but there are some big numbers that have come in. Gilbane Construction, Turner Construction, Haynes Supply, Basil Dealership. Those are just a few. Thurman, I'm sure that you can think of a few more. Batavia Downs. Then we had some private friends that have come in with some really, really thoughtful donations. Eric Wood, made a $10,000 donation. Shaq Lawson, another $10,000 donation. It's been incredible, and we're just really thankful that everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, she pretty much hit the nail on pretty much everybody that has made bigger donations. It's been incredible, and those people are still really coming out with, whether it's $1 or whether it's $10,000 or what have you. The donations are still coming in, and we really appreciate that. And like I said, like Patty said earlier, we can be trusted. We're going to make sure that every single dime, all the money would definitely go to the families and to the community. And we just like to thank everyone for reaching out to us and really, showing trust in us and what we can do here in this community.
Patti, Thurman, thank you so much for your time and really giving us your time here on the mission today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me let you know what that link is. It's
Yes.
There's a lot of great organizations also out there, but again, ours is just one. It's give.thurmanthomas.com.
That's it, guys. www.give.thurmanthomas.com.
That's it.
For Thurman Thomas, Patti Thomas, I'm Jameer Howerton. Thank you so much for joining us right here on The Mission.